me cry. Don't make me cry anymore. Okay. Go ahead and shove your neck on. Where are we going? We're doing sticky anyways. Oh my God. Oh my God, to miss your work. He's watching us. He's watching us.
Yours looks the worst. Yours does look the worst. Out of everyone, it sticks out the front.
If you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is my privilege and honor to welcome you here this evening. We are happy that Dr. Vitale, Dr. Blake, Dr. Sajecki, members of the board, parents, relatives, friends, and most of all, the graduates of the class of 1995 are here tonight. Today is our commencement day, a day that we have looked forward to for a long time. I think it is appropriate that commencement and graduation are often used synonymously. The word commencement has its roots in the Old French, meaning to begin. Many of the graduates are looking at graduation as an end, but is in fact a beginning of a new phase of our lives. For some of us, this may mean a job, for others college, and still others a combination of both work and school. When deciding on a topic for today's address, I looked at the best-selling book, The Book of Virtues, edited by William Bennett. He lists 10 virtues that we should have as individuals: self-discipline, compassion, responsibility, friendship, work, perseverance, honesty, loyalty, faith, and courage. Don't get nervous, I'm only going to talk about courage. Courage is a virtue that we need not only as individuals, but as a society and nation. Frederick Wilcox states that progress always involves risks. You can't steal second base if you keep your foot on first. Hemingway defined it as grace under pressure. John F. Kennedy says that courage was the most admirable of human virtues. President Kennedy wrote a famous book entitled Profiles in Courage, which examines 8 U.S. senators who were particularly courageous. They were willing to risk their careers by pursuing what they believed was right, even though it was unpopular. John Quincy Adams, Daniel Webster, and Sam Houston were some of the courageous men that Kennedy honored. Today, our congressmen are faced with difficult decisions regarding our government and society. They have to make courageous choices involving our national debt, budget, and social programs. Their decisions may not be popular, but they will have to do what they think is right, and this will take courage. But courage is not limited to the field of government or politics. Galileo Galilei was a famous Italian mathematician who, by use of the telescope, confirmed that the Earth was not the center of the universe, but the sun was. Galileo knew that the Catholic Church was very powerful in this time, and this discovery contradicted their beliefs. But he had the courage to do what he felt was correct and expose the truth. He sacrificed his reputation to expand science. For some time he was called a heretic and was even denounced by the Church. But if it were not for people like Galileo, who had the courage to stand up, we would not have all the knowledge that we have today. Jesse Owens and Wilma Rudolph were both athletes that had tremendous courage. Being a runner, I'd like to talk about these two famous Olympic athletes who each had to show courage in order to succeed. Many of you probably know Jesse Owens for setting 4 world records and winning 4 gold medals at the Berlin Olympics in 1936. Winning may seem bold, but it was his intense situation that made him especially courageous. When Owens arrived at the Olympic Games, he was in a foreign country 6,000 miles from his home. He was going to compete against the best athletes in the world, and more frightening, he was intimidated by Hitler's philosophy of Aryan supremacy. Most people would have crumbled in this situation, and Jesse almost did. His first event in the Games was the long jump. During the qualifying rounds, Owens faltered on his first of 3 attempts. On his second attempt, he was afraid to give it his all because he thought he might fault again. Because of this, he did not have a big enough jump to make the finals. Before his third and final attempt, Luce Long, Germany's, quote, superior engineered long jumper, courageously came over to talk with Owens and help him. He told Owens that even though he competed for Hitler, he did not believe in his philosophies. Luce had already qualified on his first jump, and like Owens, always tried to give 100% effort, and he could see Owens was frustrated. Luce gave Owens a suggestion of moving his mark back 6 inches, and then he would still be able to give it his all and be safe from faulting. Owens has courage to try his arch-rival's advice. Owens verbalizes his courage in the following quotation: "I have to find strength somewhere, have to reach into myself, and find the strength to make it and do my best." Owens not only made the finals, but he later won the gold medal with an Olympic and world record. His other records were in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4x100 meter relay. Wilma Rudolph was another athlete who had to overcome great obstacles and showed great courage. She was born into a large family. She was the 20th in her family of 22 children. I guess her mother must have had a lot of courage to have such a large family. Rudolph was crippled by polio at the age of 4. She had to walk with a leg brace until she was 12. By the age 20, however, she was running in the 1960 Olympics, and she was referred to as the fastest woman on earth. However, she did not quit here. In 1981, she established the Wilma Rudolph Foundation to assist young athletes and by teaching them that they, too, can succeed even when faced with seemingly impossible obstacles. Wilma Rudolph died recently from cancer after yet another long and courageous fight. Although Forrest Gump is a fictional character, there are real individuals like him. They have courage to persevere against all odds. We were all thrilled in the movie by his courage, both in war and in life as a whole. This summer we will all witness extraordinary acts of courage at the Special Olympics. These Olympians are competing in the World Games in New Haven. This is truly a situation where score and place are not important, because these athletes are all winners for their courage to compete. At age 18, it is difficult for us to know what life has in store for us. In college, there will be many temptations. It will take courage to remain true to your beliefs. All of us at some point will have a situation where there is a family crisis or a lost loved one. It is times like these when our faith and courage need to be at their strongest. Some of us may be involved in local politics, such as school board or town council. You may have to make unpopular but courageous decisions. Others, just by choosing a particular career, might need courage. The same may be true when selecting a place to settle. In our mobile society, it is very possible that a job may take you many miles from your friends and relatives. You will need courage to make this change. I wish you courage to face life's challenges. May you all meet success in whatever you do. Remember that courage is not the absence of fear, but the conquest of it. Thank you.
I'm really nervous. On behalf of the class of 1995, good evening. Before I present our class gift, the class officers and I would like to give a very special thank you to two unique and important individuals who have spent numerous hours with us. Without our class advisors, it would have been extremely difficult to find direction and understanding of what has been expected of us these last 4 years. We, the class of 1995, would like to honor both Donald Sarakowski and Judith Holmes for their endless contributions to our class with gift certificates to Maximore Restaurant of Glastonbury. Thanks to both of you for your time and effort. In addition, we would particularly like to honor Mrs. Holmes' dedication to our school as a class advisor for 25 years. As she retires this year, she will be remembered by the many classes she has helped. To honor her 25 years of service, the class of 1995 would like to present her with 1 rose for each of those 25 years. Thank you again from all of us. During our last 4 years, our class has worked patiently and diligently as each school year began. Homeroom representatives and class officers have worked on the annual activities expected of each class, such as class rings, prom, and graduation. Rarely does a class have the time or organizational skills necessary to do extra activities. I'm happy to say that not at any point did our class lose their willingness to work together, even in their senior year when it is not uncommon for students to lose their enthusiasm. One thing that I am particularly proud of is how our class got together and looked beyond our everyday lives to fulfill a very unselfish need. Many seniors wanted to remember our fellow classmates who have met untimely deaths. Students have worked together to raise the money necessary to purchase a memorial bench, which will be available for student use in the years to come. This gesture makes me proud to be a member of the class of 1995. Now, it is my pleasure and honor to present this year's class gift. The additional funds collected throughout our 4 years will be used to improve the decor of the senior study. This includes painting the room and adding furniture, which will enhance the decor for years to come. And so, class of 1995, we've worked hard to get through many difficult times, but we've also shared exciting aspirations and similar dreams. Now we shall move forward to new places and people. However, I ask you to never forget our lives here in Tolland. It may seem strange to think, but no matter how you look at it, we have all shared our lives and have become a combination of each other. Our togetherness as a class has made it a pleasure for me to work with you. I thank you for having faith in my qualities as an individual and allowing me to be your class president. In a fitting closing, the following is a poem by Serena Judge, a member of our class that has truly understood our years here at Tolland. Time, as we understand it, has ceased to exist. The whispers of the breeze have been quieted by the sounds of childhood coming to a close. The last echoes of play reach us. Leaves dance on a warm summer's day like our souls, waltzing slowly around the paths which we may take. One fragment of our lives is over, yet still we can feel the child inside driving us on, when change is close at hand. Life beyond high school is still a part of childhood. We work and learn, and still we play. Childhood never truly ends. It lives on in those who take the time to preserve their experiences and friends. On behalf of the class of 1995, thank you.
In the past few weeks preparing for graduation, it's been such an intense time. I've had so many thoughts and emotions and reflections on high school going through my head. It's been very difficult to organize a speech. This speech is supposed to be interesting and inspiring and profound, but little is truly inspiring and profound in high school. It has often been rote and mechanical, but that's the simplest way and the way most people learn. The best teachers are those that bring education to a personal level, the human level. Tolland High School teachers are the greatest and the most spirited teachers because if you treat them like people and not your enemy and not fact dispensers, then they will treat you like people too. High school's role is to provide a base layer of knowledge, but we should not be content with a simple base layer. My base wants to be contoured and interesting. Reasoning is a part of learning as much as experiencing is a part of understanding. Now that we have completed high school, we are ready to experience more, to be guided instead of told, because we are people and not robots nor tape recorders. Fellow graduates, we must seek texture. When a teacher gets sidetracked, we ask, is this going to be on the test? Do I need to know this? These are improper questions for a classroom. There will come a time when our test will be a situation and we will have to define a problem and then assemble a solution from what we have learned. High school gives us the knowledge to assemble these solutions. High school is not a simulation of real life. High school has done what it is supposed to do, and now that we have completed high school, the time has come to do more. I worry about whether or not I'm being improper, but I realize if I understand what I'm saying and if it's true, then it cannot be improper. If instead I said something cliched or shallow that just simply sounded good, I refuse to believe that that would be more improper, or more proper. It seems that appearance matters more than meaning sometimes, and my meaning doesn't change when my tone does. I wonder how impolite my tone is now. I want to be positive, I want to be more positive and more inspiring than impolite, but I hope that by being slightly impolite, I will cause people to think, especially my classmates, because it is they who have just finished high school and are in a position to think about their lives, about what they have accomplished, and about what they hope to accomplish. If we can't talk openly about issues, then we cannot comfortably face them with confidence. My inspiration for this speech has come from Kurt Vonnegut. In his book, Breakfast of Champions, he talks about his boyhood role model during the Great Depression, Phoebe Hurdy. I'd like to read a passage from this book now. She would talk bodily to me and her sons and to our girlfriends when we brought them around. She was funny. She was liberating. She taught us to be impolite about conversation, not only about sexual matters, but about American history and famous heroes, about the distribution of wealth, about school, about everything. I now make my living by being impolite. I am clumsy at it. I keep trying to imitate the impoliteness which is so graceful in Phoebe Hurdy. I think now that grace was easier for her than it is for me because of the mood of the Great Depression. She believed what so many Americans believed then, that the nation would be happy and just and rational when prosperity came. I never hear that word anymore, prosperity. It used to be a synonym for paradise. And Phoebe Hurdy was able to believe that the impoliteness she recommended would give shape to a new American paradise. Now we're sort of impoliteness is fashionable, but nobody believes in a new American paradise. Why don't we believe in the American paradise anymore? Just because we don't see it around us doesn't mean that it can't be there. Just because the world sometimes may treat you more like machines than people doesn't mean you have to believe it and act like it and treat each other that way. We all have worth as human beings beyond units of currency or labor or beyond your numerical grades. And as soon as you value that worth in yourselves and in other people, you have found the basis of paradise and human prosperity. I believe in the American paradise. I believe that we have the power to change the world. Everyone tells us that we are the future, that we have this power, but we must be sure to use it.
Dr. Sajecki and I have the pleasure of presenting scholarships and awards tonight. I'd just like to take a moment first to congratulate the class of 95 on their accomplishments. I'm glad we got a nice evening for tonight. You deserve it. One thing I ask all graduates to do at graduation is I'd like you to thank your parents. Your parents are very proud of you tonight. They're sitting there watching you. It's a great moment in their life. It's one of your first major achievements. I'd like you to catch their eye in the audience and thank them for their efforts, because without them, you wouldn't be here tonight. When we're going to do scholarships a little bit different tonight. What I'd like to do is, as we name the scholarships and the recipients, would you please stand in place, and we will be available right after graduation with the scholarship envelopes over here. So please, when we call your name, stand in place and we will move on.
Each year, you may remember the Tolland Booster Club and the High School Scholarship Fund solicits through the phone-a-thon a great deal of money which we turn over to the students in the form of scholarships. The funds are derived from endowments, other funds are derived from endowments, corporate contributions, charitable organizations, and the generosity of community members who donate through the phone-a-thon in March. And it's our pleasure to present the following scholarships to deserving graduates. This year, the Steele Hall Endowment of the Tolland High School Scholarship Fund is presented for outstanding academic excellence to the two top students in our class. Please stand, Daniel Hollis and Alexander Zemek. The following students are recipients of the Tolland High School Scholarship Fund Awards. Please stand. Renee Canada, Daniel Casenti, Stacy Dowd, Greg Ferrand, Jennifer Hall, Joy Hanney, Matthew Harrington, Deanna Huckstra, Katie Jessick, Melissa Mantak, Amy Risley, Christine Seow, Kyle Smith, Catherine Vallone, Andrew Van Ostrand, Sherry Winchell, Jennifer Young, and Sarah Zwarek. Well deserved. Congratulations to all of you. Another endowment provides an award to a student interested in community or government service. The Russell Stevenson Memorial Scholarship is awarded to two members of the class, Amy Williams and Troy Wasilewski. In addition to performing many community services and making numerous donations to local charities, the Tolland Lions Club conducts special fundraisers to present an annual scholarship. This year's Lions Club Scholarship Award recipient is Rebecca Beausoleil. The Brian Valenti Scholarship Award is given to a student entering a community college. The first recipient of this award is Melanie Maynard. In 1992, Sarah Stevens would have graduated from Tolland High School. Following her untimely death in 1985, a scholarship fund was established in her name to honor her positive attitude and indomitable spirit. This year's recipients are Jennifer Doyle and Heidi Lindsay. Robin Lee and Jason Chichaki are awarded the Bissell Scholarships from the Levius Bissell Foundation. The Carmela J. and Bertha Zangi Memorial Scholarship for Leadership is awarded this year to Amy Thoreau. The Rockville Lodge of the Elks has selected Daniel Hollis to receive its scholarship. Every year, the Charles H. Leonard Citizenship Award goes to a student who has demonstrated leadership and citizenship. Matthew Harrington is this year's recipient.
The Tolland Grange Award for a student interested in pursuing environmental studies is given to Michelle Logier. Every year, the Bilecki McNamara Award is presented for leadership and service. Michelle is this year's winner. Also, Michelle is receiving the James Esty Memorial Award for an interest in coaching and sport. Congratulations. The Jeff Marshall Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Michael Boothroyd for his leadership and contributions to Tolland High School and its football program. Michael is also this year's recipient of the Tolland Fire Department Award, given to students pursuing an interest in protective services. St. Matthew's Church and Knights of Columbus scholarships are presented this year to Stacy Costanzo, Katie Jezik, Joy Hanning, and Lisa Bing. The United Congregational Church presents its annual scholarships to Sarah Hankinson and Kyle Smith. Awards of distinction for academic excellence are presented to those individuals who have demonstrated outstanding achievement in subject areas. In the area of art, Megan Swerling. Business, Christina Tracy. Dan Hollis in computers, mathematics, and science. English, Greg Foran. Foreign language, Alexander Zemek. Ed Clapp for physical education. Danielle Hayes for family and consumer sciences. Technology education, Deanna Hoekstra. Catherine Cromit for music. And social studies, Troy Walsh-Zaleski. A number of other awards and scholarships have previously been announced. We would like the following students to be recognized. The Robert F. Noonan Scholarship, Phil Shambach. The Mercedes Hawley Scholarship of the Rockville Hospital Auxiliary, Heidi Lindsay and Robin Lee. The Women's Forum of the Rockville Chamber of Commerce, and, the May Department Store Company Special Scholarship, Troy Wasilewski. Congratulations to all of these students from Tolland High School. A job well done.
Class of 1995, parents, relatives, friends, Board of Education members, faculty and staff, good evening. Welcome to the 1995 Tolland High School graduation commencement. I would first like to dispel a rumor that this was the last day of school for Tolland seniors. All graduating seniors are more than welcome to be in school for the next 2 days. I have been assured there are still many books left in the library for you to read. And this is not to say that you have to attend, but for those who felt a need to come to school, our doors are open. I would now like to extend a special thanks to all those who have made tonight a reality for us. First, I would like to thank the faculty and staff of Tolland High School, the teachers, counselors, psychologists, administration, and support staff for their commitment and dedication to these students. I thank you for giving of yourselves, for spending the extra time to become part of these students' lives, for supporting these students when they needed someone, and for your patience at handling their bad days. I would next like to thank the Tolland Board of Education for their many hours of dedicated service on behalf of these students. It is the Board of Education who has set the student goals of achievement to which these students' academic studies were designed for, and it was the Board of Education who ensured that the resources of the community allocated for education would be spent to assure these students an outstanding high school educational experience. The next group I would like to thank are the parents of the class of 1995. I thank them on behalf of the school and the community. I thank them first for supporting and working with the Tolland school system. For many, this has been a 13-year relationship. I thank you for giving us your children and for your involvement and support. The community thanks you for working with the school in preparing these students for the future, a future which you have helped to shape through your children. Lastly, I would like to thank the relatives and friends of the class of 1995 for their support. As members of the class of 1995 prepare to graduate, I would ask that you reflect on what you have learned during your high school experience. It is my hope that we have prepared you well for an ever-changing and increasingly complex world. Hopefully you have come to recognize the importance of learning and now see this as an integral part of life and your future. As you think about what you have learned, you will recognize that learning occurs in and out of the classroom, and that learning is a very individualized process. As you think back over your experiences at Tolland High School, think about not only what you have learned, but how you have learned. By understanding how you learn best, you will be better able to maximize future learning situations. As you think about your experiences over the past 4 years, I am sure that learning has occurred when you have made mistakes as well as when you have succeeded. Again, ask yourself, what made the difference for you when you were successful? Was it motivation, commitment, time spent, or some other variable? For most people, success is a result of commitment and hard work. This can be seen easily by looking at those students among you that have excelled either in the classroom or out on the athletic field. These students committed themselves to doing their best. It is my sincere hope that as you leave Tolland High School, you will leave with a solid academic background and a commitment to be all that you can be. On behalf of the community and the Tolland School District, I congratulate each of you in meeting the graduation requirements needed to receive a diploma from Tolland High School. I rejoice in your success and look forward with pride to the contribution each of you will make. It is now my privilege to present the class of 1995. Thank you.
Robin Lee, Troy William Wasilewski, Rebecca L. Beausoleil, Matthew T. Harrington, William George Beal, Tara Jean Bernia, Lisa Ann Bing, Victoria E. Black, Michael Albert Boothroyd, Deborah Lynn Bronson, Renee Laverick Canada, Daniel Nicholas Cassanti, Jason W. Jahoski, Edward F. Clapp, Joshua D. Clark, Todd Robert Cohen, Gina M. Colosimo, Sarah Ann Cook, Stacy Lynn Costanzo, Carolyn Anna Crapster, Catherine M. Cromit, Shannon Elizabeth Sawinski, Stacy L. Dowd, Reagan K. Delasco, Michael D. DeLugan, Jennifer Catherine Doyle, Eric David Dubay, Shannon Nicole Dubio, Kristen R. Ellsworth.
Mark Field. Gregory A. Foran. Craig Brian Fox. Andrea Lynn Friedman. Jennifer I. Frost. Amy Colleen Gallup. Katie Melissa Gibson. Carrie Lynn Gorman. Aaron Jensen Gunther. Jennifer Suzanne Hall. Sarah Elizabeth Hankinson. Joy Elizabeth Haney. James Richard Hawkins. Danielle Lynn Hayes. Deanna Dawn Hoekstra. Rachel Beth Hoffman. Daniel Edward Hollis. Amy L. Hurlbert. Todd Jameson. Katie Ann Jezik. Shannon Marie Johnston. Serena Judge. Matthew Dean Cato. Bethany Chase Keith. Marie Ann Kellis. Chancey Doy Keophilibon. Brian E. Karachski. Diana Lee Knapp. Heather Marie Knowles. Melissa Lynn Koziak. Jeremy A. Lawton.
Let's do this.
Angel M. LeBron. Stacy Ann Leonard. I have to interrupt for 1 second, please.
There's a reason I've been at 17 graduations and never received a diploma, and I have to say it's because I haven't learned to turn the pages of our scholarship list properly, and I missed a page. And I'd like to just take a moment, if I could, and read that page. And I'll have to come back for another year of study and practice to do it right. But I would like to recognize some members of the senior class at this time. The James P. Cornish Scholarship is intended for a student interested in pursuing a medically related field, and Robin Lee is the recipient this year. Also, she is the recipient of the Exchange Club of Rockville in its annual award. And she is also the recipient of the Tolland Junior Women's Club Award. The Tolland Bank annually presents 2 awards for leadership and service. This year's recipients are Brian Karachki and Carolyn Crafson. Annually, the Tolland Education Association presents an award to a student planning to major in education. Kim Marks is this year's recipient. The Tolland Friends of Music annually acknowledges students who have contributed to the Tolland High School music program. This year's recipient is Catherine Crum. Catherine is also receiving the Arts of Tolland Award. Congratulations. This year's recipient of the Ruth Losham Award for Leadership is James Hawkins. And the John Carasone Memorial Scholarship is presented in memory of John, a former math teacher at Tolland High. Jennifer Young is this year's recipient. Congratulations.
Get up!
Heidi Barth Lindsay. Adam R. Liss. Johanna Beth Lozier. Michelle Lee Lozier. James F. Luce. Jared Adam Luce. Annette Diana Lukasik. Anne Marie Luttrell. Melissa Ann Manchuk. Melissa Allison Mantak. Kimberly Lynn Marks. Todd A. Marshall. Melanie Jane Maynard. Michael Patrick McAllister. Richard S. McKeegan. John L. Neville. Jimmy Michael Morrison. Monique Marie Mozzicato. Brian P. Olesnovich. David Thomas Pope. Stephen Vincent Pope. Beth Ann Rady. Jennifer Ann Ray. Derek D. Reuter. Amy Lynn Risley. Eduardo Rocha. Stefanie Ann Ross. Keith G. Savoy. Daniel A. Shao. Phil B. Shamba. Yvonne Schumann. Christine Roy Chui Siao. Christine F. Shelto.
Michael J. Slightum. Brian S. Smith. Kyle Lee Smith. Shane Douglas Smith. Josh A. Susi. Steve A. Susi Jr. Joseph Suarez Sousa Jr. Megan Marie Stores. Gregory W. Sullivan. Travis Jeffrey Tagan. Amy Elizabeth Thoreau. Erin Christine Francis Thibodeau. Kenneth J. Tierney. Stephanie Ann Tosi. Christina Marie Tracy. Brandon Lee Usher. Catherine Elizabeth Vallone. Andrew Evan Van Ostren. Robin J. Vereen. Jessica S. Ward. Bethany Jean White. Amy J. Williams. Sherry Lynn Winchell. Taylor Henry Witt. David Thomas Iaconello. Jennifer Lynn Young. Zachary Adam Young. Alexander Frank Zemek. Sarah Karen Zwarek. Megan Marie Zwerlein.